Okay, so now I want to write an equation of a line that's parallel to the given line, y equals 1/3 x minus 3, and then it passes through the given point, 3, -1. So the specific directions say write your equation in slope-intercept form, but I'm going to show you how you can first write it in point-slope form. You have to take everything you know about parallel lines. So the slope of this line that's given is 1/3, which also means the slope of a line parallel to it should be exactly the same. So the slope of a parallel line is also 1/3. As you'll see in the next few examples, we might be asked to write an equation of a perpendicular line, and I would take the opposite reciprocal slope. But then the line passes through this point. So I can first write the equation in point-slope form. Even though the directions say slope-intercept form, then we'll have to go back to 4.2 and remember how to change an equation in point-slope form to slope-intercept form. But here's my point. Here's the slope. So this is m. This is my point, x sub 1, y sub 1. And as a quick review, point-slope form looks like this. Y minus y sub 1 is equal to m times the quantity x minus x sub 1. I'm assuming a lot of you don't remember that, but just go back to your notes or write it down right now. Again, that's point-slope form, which means I have everything labeled. Here's where you need to be organized. You need to know what you're given, what you can find, facts about parallel lines, that they have the same slope to be able to write your equation. Okay, so I'm going to plug certain numbers in. Y sub 1 is -1. So y minus y sub 1 is the same as y plus 1 because you're subtracting negative equals m. So the slope here is 1/3 times x minus x sub 1. X sub 1, you see up here, is 3. But I want to write my equation in slope-intercept form. Okay, the reason why I wrote it in point-slope form first is we knew the slope. We have a point. So it should be pretty easy to write your equation in point-slope form. Now we just change that to slope-intercept form. If you remember how to change this to slope-intercept form, distribute the slope first. Y plus 1 equals 1/3 times x is 1/3 x. 1/3 times -3. This is the same as -3/1. Positive times the negative is a negative. You'd have 3/3, and then that's 1. So to put this into slope-intercept form, you have to get y all by itself. Subtract 1 from each side. Y is equal to 1/3 x minus 2 is your equation. Okay, so on example 2, I want to do something similar. I know you can't see the directions, but we kind of just went over the directions. I want to write an equation for a line that's parallel to this line, and it passes through this point. So again, you really have to know the fact that parallel lines have the same slope. The slope of this line is -2. The slope of a line parallel, or m, would be exactly the same, -2 or -2/1. And then the point that the line passes through is 1, -2. So I'm going to let that be x sub 1, y sub 1. And just like the last example as well, since we know a point and the slope, even though I'm going to write my final equation in slope-intercept form, I'm going to use point-slope form first. Y minus y sub 1 equals m times the quantity x minus x sub 1. So it's y minus -2, same as y plus 2, equals m, -2, times a quantity, that means parentheses, x minus x sub 1. So x minus 1. Now I just need to solve this completely for y. Distribute the slope. Y plus 2 equals -2 times x is -2x. -2 times -1 is +2. And then solve it for y by subtracting 2 from each side. Y equals -2x plus 0, or just y equals -2x. You can actually write it either way.